Hello everyone, Fertility Journals here. If you're new to my channel, please don't forget to subscribe and join the family. I decided to start this YouTube channel as a way to motivate, inspire, and provide what I learned through education and research to those who are undergoing infertility. And when I was going through my own journey, I went through 12 IVF cycles. My diagnosis was age-related infertility. I relied heavily in this space to be able to learn from the experiences of others, and also just, be able to hear from those who were undergoing the same experience. So the hope is that as you log into my channel, that you will be able to feel the same. Today, we're going to talk about a topic that many conversations are had around this, age, career, and fertility. So I'm going to share with you my insights into how that has impacted my journey and my experience. So if you are interested, please stay tuned. So when it comes to age, your career, and fertility, these are actually the facts. Time has actually changed, and the way that we live in our generation right now isn't the same way that our parents lived. And so these are just discussions that I've had with women and men who are living in this new day and age. It's just very, very different. And so what has changed as it relates to age, career, and fertility is that for women, for example, they are waiting a little bit more to be able to have children because they want to have the capacity to take care of themselves. They want to realize their dreams, and they want to have an established career. Life has become much more expensive. There is no middle class. Many societies keep saying that middle class, living has gone or is no longer the same. Families are struggling, and so even when it comes to men, marrying women, the expectation is that they have a career and they have some form of stability, so that together, they can be able to, make a good living. The term power couple, the term working class couples is now more prevalent than ever. And so for that reason, that age-old timeline has been reimagined. I can only talk about my experience being of African descent. For example, my mother, my aunties, they got married at 19, 20. They had their children at 21, 22. My mother had me at 22, and my auntie had my cousins at 20. And so they got married really early. And despite them also, particularly my mother having a career, the sacrifice was she had to leave me and then pursue her career. For a few years, I stayed with my dad. And so what people are now doing to prevent that from happening is they're focusing on their career first and then having children. So those are the facts of, the reality that we live in today. And so next, I'm going to talk about how that equates to age and fertility. So when it comes to age and fertility, we've talked about career. When it comes to women, what happens is if you have the type of infertility that, you were not born with that diagnosis. For example, with infertility, there's all types of diagnosis. There's some women who discover that they were born with a condition, and then there are other women who discover that they are impacted as they age. Different circumstances happen that really affect their fertility. So I am actually targeting the women who are impacted by fertility as they age. So when it comes to women and their fertility, those who are fertile, have no issues, you're born with all your eggs. And what happens is the number of eggs actually diminishes with age significantly by the age of 30. I was shocked to learn that the peak of fertility is actually from age 15 to 22. Yeah, the peak of fertility is from age 15 to 22. Who's having kids at age 15 to 22 and can afford them and has planned to have them within that age group? It's just non-existent in our society today. But that is the peak of fertility. So there is a biological clock that you are working with. You need to understand that there is a biological clock that you're working with. Even if you are healthy, even if you are fit, even though you exercise, you run 2 or 3 miles a day, even if you're African and have eaten organic food your whole life, that's another story. I thought, hey, we eat organic food. I don't have any of that Western influence. I have no diabetes, no nothing. I'm skinny, I run. I should be fertile. No. You are born with all the eggs that you have, and they diminish with age, and significantly at the age of 30. And that's why at the age of 35, they use names like geriatric, you are high risk, and all those names that they use to be able to describe that part of our experience as women. The truth is, you can have it all. Yes, you can have it all. And what I learned, and if there was something I could do differently, is this. If you find yourself in the midst of growing your career and you're in a place where you're working on your career, maybe you have not yet met your partner in life, this is mandatory for you when it comes to age, career, and your fertility. Please consider freezing your eggs. It is empowering. I wish I had done that because it would have given me so much freedom. It would have given me the life that I wanted with no hustle. I would not have had to go through 12 cycles of IVF. Obviously, I'm not saying it's a guarantee because with life, as you know, things happen. But I am saying that in this day and age, that technology is there. They use the vitrification method these days, which means that when they freeze the eggs, there's less chances of crystallization. And I'm telling you, women are doing it. They're just not talking about it. See, that's the thing. Even when I was undergoing infertility and learning about it, was new to me. Nobody ever brought it up or mentioned. Nobody talks about these things. And so we are not educating each other about what's going on. So don't be intimidated by it. This is not for celebrities only. The reality is you have a biological clock, and if you are in the middle of creating your career, you have not found a significant other, please consider freezing your eggs. And I would say not once, but freezing them twice so that you have a reserve just in case. Now, how that will end up helping you when it comes to your age, career, and fertility in the future is that when the doctor tells you that you have to use donor eggs, which they will, especially if you are waiting for the right partner and you're waiting for your career to unfold and you find yourself over the age of 40, then you can say, I can use my own eggs. So you're donating to yourself for the future. I say this because some of you watching this video are as passionate about having a genetic child as much as I was. One of the reasons I went through the 12 IVF cycles was I wanted so badly my own genetic child, and I wanted to at least try. And it was excruciating, it was painful, I underwent a lot of failures. I can't even tell you how difficult it was. I did it, but I don't want the same to happen to you if you're watching this video and you have a chance. So please consider freezing your eggs. Now, if you are over the age of 40, my recommendation is if you have age-related infertility, which means that you have fewer eggs, you are a poor responder to the conventional IVF, which is normal because you have fewer eggs. So no matter how much medication you take, it's not going to be able to stimulate multiple eggs. You only have the eggs that you have. I would consider maybe exploring an alternate IVF. I used Mini IVF, which gave every embryo a chance, and there were some retrievals that involved one egg. My baby was actually born from a retrieval whereby I had 3 eggs. One of them arrested on the first day, 2 made it up until the 5th day, 1 was discarded, and then the other one is what resulted in the baby that I have now. So there is still some hope. Remember, IVF is never a guarantee, but there are stories like mine of women who have undergone an experience and are willing to share what worked for them in the hope that it would work for you. So if you are willing to try and you're over the age of 40 and you want your own genetic child, then any clinic you choose, make sure that they give you data, because you want to make sure that that clinic has worked with women of your age and older and had some measure of success for the type of results you're looking for. So like for me, it was important to look for a clinic that had success with women who were trying with their own genetic eggs, and that was the doctor that I gave a chance to. So education and research is important. You don't want to just do this blind. Your experience is not the same as somebody who does not have the diagnosis, and certainly not the same as somebody undergoing infertility who is much younger than you are in terms of comparison of the egg reserve. And so what I did was embryo banking. Embryo banking is actually something I discovered through researching. Dr. Saul Silber in Missouri does it and talks about it, and it is a wonderful way for you to be able to bank any day 5 embryo that you get during IVF. So you're banking these embryos in the hope that when you get done in the duration of time that you're banking, that one of them could end up working out for you. I think it is something that is worth trying when you're older, because for us it takes time, and you want to give a chance for every embryo that makes it to the 5th day. It's not going to be a lot of embryos, but over the span of time, as much as you can get, and then genetically testing them and putting them back in may not be a bad idea. And so embryo banking over the age of 40 is worth your consideration as you consider your options. And the third option for you to be aware of when it comes to age, career, and fertility is donor egg. I did not know about it. In fact, I heard about it for the first time in my RE's office at the age of 41. Never heard of donor egg, didn't know what that was. But it is an effective way for you to become a parent. And what happens is you are able to use the egg of a woman that is much younger to help you conceive. Many women have used donor egg. The benefit of this type of treatment is that you're able to carry the baby, which for a lot of women is very, very important. I think in this day and age now, fertility treatments have improved significantly, where women can actually have that experience, which is really exciting, because back in the day it was only adoption, and adoption is a wonderful gift and it's a blessing because you bring a baby into your home. But if you go through egg donation, you actually get to carry the pregnancy, and through epigenetics of traits, characters, environment, you are then able to raise this child. Plus, if you are looking at finding a partner later in life, you want to wait, then please know that this chance is there, and it will actually be your husband or partner's little guys that will be used with that donor egg. So essentially you will be able to carry the partner's legacy, if that is important to you, or the partner will also be able to be a part of the child's life as well, and you in terms of carrying the child. So donor egg is viable, and many people don't know this, but you can carry your pregnancy up until the age of 50. So if you are stressed because you haven't found a significant other, you're working in your career and you're not sure, you cannot freeze your eggs, maybe you tried embryo banking and it did not work, then donor egg is something to consider as well. And so folks, when it comes to age, career, and fertility, those are the important tips. That's the new age wave of doing things. The only other methods I did not mention, but I do mention in other videos, is embryo donation. So the difference between that one and donor egg is with embryo donation, even the little guys are actually from someone else. So the little guys and the egg is already formed into an embryo. These are usually left over by younger couples who underwent infertility, who had extras. Because remember, if younger people who have infertility, if they go through a conventional cycle, the protocols actually mature a lot of eggs, and so some couples are blessed with multiple embryos and they store them, but they may want to give these embryos life. And so embryo donation is another option as well. And if the issue for you is you cannot Peri, there is surrogacy. So you could create the embryos. This is actually what Khloe Kardashian did with Tristan. You create the embryos ahead of time, and then you choose what is called a gestational surrogate. If for some reason maybe you're a member of the LGBTQIA community and you need to use a surrogate, you could use a traditional surrogate, which means that the surrogate uses her own egg and you use your little guys to be able to create that baby. I believe that's what Anderson Cooper did, and Andy Cohen when they had their children this year. At the time I'm making this video, it is 2022. So lots of developments within the area of fertility. And last but not least, let's not forget the age-old methods for couples who are contemplating parenthood later in life, and that is adoption and foster care. The only thing with foster care, obviously, as you guys know, is you have to give the children back after a set period of time, but there's a blessing in the time that the children get to stay with you and you do impact their life before they return to their families. And then you have adoption, which has been going on for ages as well. And so there you have it. So everything you need to know when it comes to age, career, and fertility. So I probably am missing something, guys. If I'm missing something, do you mind just adding it in the comments below? Did you like this video? If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up if you enjoy content like this. Again, I decided to use my experience and all the research gained to be able to give back. So let me know if you really like videos like this, where I share information based on questions that people ask me behind the scenes as well. And remember, you can always email me if you have a question. I am more than happy to answer that for you. Thank you for watching, guys. Until my next video, baby dust to you. See you later. Bye.